I was talking to a friend of mine and she told me that she was trying to set some boundary at her workplace, but it didn't seem to be working. She had a colleague at her workplace with whom she didn't have a great connection. They had conflicts very often, but she had no choice but to work with this person because they belonged in the same project. I asked her what's the problem and what's the boundary that she was trying to set. So anytime there is a team meeting, the team leader would ask the people to start explaining their tasks. And they have a order that they follow. The senior would go first and then the junior would go next. And my friend is a junior and this other person that she's working with is the senior. So when it comes to their module, the senior person would start explaining his task and he would also end up explaining my friend's task as well. So when the team leader came to my friend, all she had to say was, he already explained it, there's nothing else to say. Which made her look quite bad because it seemed like the other person was working more or he was more involved in the project or my friend was not doing the work, right? That's not the case. She didn't like it. So one day she went to this person and she told him that, very calmly, she told him that, hey, in the meetings, I will explain my tasks. I don't want you to do them. And this person very calmly said, okay. And the next meeting came and this person did the same thing. My friend got really furious. She had this heated argument with him and then she shared this whole thing with me. And she was also really stressed and anxious about this because it is a senior person and she had to deal with it very carefully. But no wonder this boundary wasn't working because she wasn't doing it right. Let me tell you what was wrong about her boundary and what are some ways in which we are setting boundaries that end up not working. Number one, boundary doesn't mean controlling someone else's behavior. It is not about telling people what to do and what not to do. Because guess what? They can still say fuck you and continue to do it. This is what happened in my friend's case as well. She told him what to do. Although she wasn't suggesting anything wrong, this person still did the same thing, which made her furious. So you need to understand that when you tell people what to do, how to speak, or how to act, you are still giving them the power. They still get to choose. That is not a boundary. So in my friend's case, I suggested that there's no point telling this person what to do. Next time when there's a meeting and this person starts explaining your tasks, you stop him. You tell him that you take it from there and you explain your tasks. And if he does the same thing at every meeting, you do the same thing at every meeting, right? You're not doing anything wrong and you're taking your power back. You are letting the person be himself because you obviously cannot change other people and you should not focus on changing other people. So you're letting him be himself. You are taking your control back and you are doing what is right at the moment. That is a boundary. So remember, boundary is about how you choose to act. It is not about telling someone else what to do or what not to do or how to behave. You let people be themselves and then you decide how you want to engage with those people. Number two, cutting people off is not a boundary. Look, if you want to cut someone off from your life, by all means do it, but it is not a boundary. Boundary is for people that you want to keep in your life. Some of us misunderstand boundary that anytime someone does something that we don't like, when someone behaves in a way that we don't like, we cut them off in the name of boundary and telling ourselves that I'm protecting my peace. Well, listen, the world will not adjust itself for you. The people are not going to act in a way that you like. They are not going to change their behavior because, oh, this is how this person likes it. So I'm going to change my behavior for this person so that this person doesn't get hurt. That's not going to happen. You know who expects that? A toddler. You are not a toddler. If you continue to do this, cutting people off because they are acting in a way that you don't like, firstly, you are not understanding the concept of basic human connection, that people are different and they have individual preferences, opinions, and behaviors. And secondly, you're going to end up alone with no human connections. Now, don't get me wrong, if you come across toxic people, by all means, cut them off. But you need to know the difference. Am I cutting this person off because they're toxic, or am I doing this because this person is acting in a way that I don't like? I want them to act in a certain way, but they're not doing it, so I'm cutting them off. That is not a boundary, okay? That is also not a reason to cut someone off from your life. And another important thing here is, this might be hard to accept, but this is the truth. No one is responsible for your triggers. No one but you. You can deny all you want, but this is the truth. You choose to hold on to your past. You choose to hold on to your childhood experiences. You refuse to let go of it. You choose to let your past define who you are today. You are still holding on to those emotions from the past. And you create this identity, your present identity, based on the past experiences that you've had, all the traumatic experiences that you've had. And you are choosing to lead your life today based on that. And you come across someone and you blame them for triggering you. They are not triggering you. You are getting triggered. There is a difference. It doesn't come from them, it comes from you. If you get triggered, it is a sign for you to look inward. You need to ask yourself, why the fuck is this person doing something causing so much emotional turbulence inside me? How can this person have so much power that them doing something turns a switch inside me and I have so much emotional turbulence going on? You need to ask yourself that. You need to do that inner work. Someone else from the outside should not have so much power over your emotions. Your body and your mind and your emotions, they must be in your control, not someone else. I know it's hard, love, my love, but you are responsible for your triggers. So, cutting people off is not a boundary, and the next time you're triggered, look inside, do the work, and then you can deal with the people on the outside. Number 3. Now, this is interesting. People who don't know how to have a healthy conflict, people who don't know how to deal with an emotional scenario, they use the word boundary as an excuse to escape the situation. So they're either giving you the silent treatment or they are ignoring the whole scenario. They are not taking accountability. They're not taking responsibility for their words or actions. They're stonewalling, but they would simply use the word boundary as an excuse. I'm setting my boundaries. I'm not going to do anything about it. That is not a boundary. Lack of responsibility is not a boundary. If this is you, firstly, it's not a boundary. Secondly, you are refusing to take responsibility of the situation. Thirdly, this is not going to make your relationship any better. And fourthly, the other person is going to leave you. It's just a matter of time. Because, like I said before, this is also a toddler behavior. This is not a boundary. Now, what is a boundary and how do we go about it? A boundary is more like a personal limit. What is acceptable? What is not? What will I tolerate? How will I act in certain situations? How do I deal with certain people? How will I act in certain emotional scenarios? How will I communicate this? So, a boundary is, take notes, guys, a boundary is how you will act. What will you do? What will you communicate? How your behavior is going to be. That is a boundary. And how do we go about this? What is the best way to start practicing boundaries? The best way to start practicing this is to practice it with yourself first. So when you're able to keep up good boundaries with yourself, understanding what is acceptable inside you, what is not acceptable inside your head, and doing the whole process within yourself, it becomes easier for you to keep up the same with other people. How? Here are a few things. Number 1, give up the self-destructive habits, the overthinking, the self-criticism, putting yourself down, replaying the old scenarios, going back to people or places or situations that put you down or hurt you. Stop putting yourself in these destructive situations. Stop destroying yourself. Number 2, practice discipline and self-control. Stick to your habits and routines. Do the right thing at any point in time, irrespective of how you feel. Don't let how you feel dictate how you act. Number 3, keep your promises. If you tell yourself that you're going to do something, keep that promise. Listen to yourself. If you tell yourself that you're going to quit alcohol, quit smoking, quit doom scrolling, quit it. If you don't listen to yourself, how do you expect others to listen to you? Number 4, build your self-respect. Don't put yourself in destructive situations or disrespectful situations. Even if you happen to come across such situation, unknowingly, just take the lesson and ensure that doesn't happen again. Number 5, take accountability. Own your decisions. Even if your decision goes wrong, you don't have to be rude or critical about it. Take the lesson. Be responsible for your actions and the decisions that you make. And number 6, learn to say no to yourself. You want to binge watch something on the Netflix, but you got to sleep. Sleep is important, so you say no to this. When you start to say no to yourself, it becomes easier for you to say no to others. So in a nutshell, you need to have standards for yourself and you keep up with those standards. When you do that, it naturally reflects on your outer world. But when your inner world is turbulent, the outer world will also be the same. When you do the things I mentioned, you don't have to sit and Google how do I set boundaries with people, because you are already doing it within yourself. And it starts reflecting on your outer world as well, and it becomes very easier for you to do it. Everything starts from you, your inner world. When you want something to happen on the outside reality, you first bring it on the inside, and it naturally starts reflecting on the outside as well. And finally, when someone crosses your boundary, don't get emotional. Don't lash out. Don't shout at them. Act in a way that is good for you. Always have a if then list. If someone does this, what will I do? And what will you do has to be something that is good for you, that is not going to cause more troubles or destroy you or the other person. It has to be something that is in best interest of you and everyone else around. That's how you create and stick to your boundaries. I hope that was helpful. I'll see you guys in another video.